We're here at the Governor's Housing Conference speaking with economist Dr. Geoffrey Hewings. Dr. Hewings, what can we expect in the spring housing market?
Well, one piece of good news, and I think probably generated by the wonderfully mild winter we've enjoyed, is that the spring season seemed to have started earlier in Illinois. We've noticed in January and February there's been a rather significant uptick, particularly compared to last year, in the number of sales. And I think our forecast suggests that at least through April and May, this is likely to continue at slightly more elevated rates than we've seen in prior years. The sad news is that prices are going to continue to trend downwards, and it seems that this message will probably continue throughout much of the year, perhaps with a little bit of a recovery in the middle of the summer. But looking towards the end of the year, I think we're going to see prices down somewhere around 5 to 6% in the state, and a little bit higher, around 7% in Chicago.
Are distressed properties still playing a factor in the home prices?
They're a huge factor. Illinois is one of the few states that does the foreclosure property through the courts. And as you know, as a result of the robo-siding problem, that essentially all litigation was put on hold until a resolution was enacted. And a few months ago, that happened. So as a result, we're seeing a huge number of foreclosed properties entering the market. We can look at this as both good and bad news. Those properties would enter the market at some time. The sooner they enter the market, the sooner they enter the market, the sooner we'll get back to some sort of equilibrium. And if we look at what's been happening in the Phoenix market recently, there's been a great deal of interest right now in properties, and two sources of stimuli can be traced to this. And one of them is that a number of people who've been renting have decided that with prices where they are, with mortgage rates as low as they are, this may be a good time. Yes, there's always a downside risk that prices will continue to decline, but I think people are sort of sensing that perhaps if it's not at the bottom, it's pretty close. The second source of demand is coming from people who are buying properties and then renting them. And of course, in a market like Phoenix, which traditionally has had a lot of in-migrants, that's probably a very positive source of pressure. The degree to which something like this will happen in the Midwest, particularly in the Illinois other than Chicago markets, is probably not quite as likely. Although I still think there are a lot of people who are renting right now who are really right on the cusp of deciding whether to buy. In large part, rental prices have already recovered from their downturn. They're above the 2007 levels, so that it's becoming more and more attractive for people to contemplate buying. Low interest rates are making it even more attractive. Now, what we've got to do is hope that the recovery in the economy will continue, that people will have a renewed sense of optimism about the rebound, and that once again they will think about housing as a very attractive investment.